Hello and welcome to BonkTable. I'm Mass in their Conquest Battle Report. Still slightly sick, still slightly have snot in my nose and all that stuff. Bit of a head cold, blaming it on Jeff. Talking about Jeff, I'm playing Jeff in this battle report. Hello Jeff, if you're watching this, because I know you don't. How are you doing? Anyway, we are going to be playing Nords Mania, or when Carl beats me over the head again to get a list named whatever he wants it to be. Did you MSU me? I believe is what he called it. What, I'm gonna be real frank, I think is a terrible name. I said it, Carl. You'll have to just beat me over the head, it's fine. Jeff is playing Sorcerer Kings. The both of us are going to Gamescom Canada. We're thinking about what kind of lists to play and what we're gonna be like playing there. It's a Worlds qualifier. It's full. I believe it's fully painted. It's at a big convention like Edmonton, Alberta, and so we're kind of just doing some practice games and so on and so forth. Let's get into the list. Let's get into the game and all that stuff. Here's the list. Mania. I got Vogny Lord, who has Wild Beast, and he's the Warlord. So Wild Beast. All friendly half-blood regiments in the character stands warband may perform impact attacks when charging through pieces of hindering terrain. Sweet. Guess what's in his battle group? 4 units of Goater Beast pack. He also has forward force, and he has Call the Hunt. So it's Call the Hunt too. Wow. When selecting a regiment to arrive from reinforcements, automatically this round choose one additional friendly half-blood. Wow, I wonder what Goater Beast pack are. Wow, it's half-bloods. You can tell I'm excited. These guys are a little bit cracked, to be honest. Vogny Lord is like pretty good as a character. He's Clash 3 with 6 attacks and Cleave 1 base. He's got a decent resolve at Resolve 3, but you really don't really care about his like wounds, resolve, and defense unless you're doing duels, and most of the time you're not. So what you do care about is his Clash and his attacks, any abilities of like Cleave or anything like that. Feral Hunters, another big one. Werewolves, Fariner, and Goater get Flurry. Super helpful, and he'll be in that, so I think he also will get Flurry because he's in that regiment. Yeah, because it says regiment, so he's part of that regiment. I don't know if this is during list building or if he joins it, he will also get Flurry. Someone please let me know, because I don't. Another big one, forward force, flank. So, I don't know if you can tell already, but Supremacy ability Call of the Hunt gives you 2 half-bloods in when you choose automatically. Well, 1 additional half-blood and then whatever else you want. So basically 2 half-bloods. And he has forward force. So these Goater Beast pack, who are mediums, you could get like 3 of them in. But wait, there's more. Let's go over the Blooded. The Blooded has forward force as well. And he's unit of trolls. So you're telling me that on turn 2, I can have a Vogny Lord and a Goater Beast pack. I could have a Blooded and Trolls. I could pick another Trolls, and then I could pick another Goater Beast pack before I roll. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards on turn 2? I wonder what the list is trying to do here. Well, let's just quickly look at the lights. Oh, we got 2 units of Stalkers who have flank already, and then a Shaman with Raiders. What's an auto in? So turn 1, you get 4 cards with the Shaman and 2 Raiders and the 2 Stalkers. Turn 2, you're going to have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's right? Nope, 6. Yeah, you're getting 2 Goater and 2 Trolls. Yes. Yeah. 1, 2. Yeah, so you're going to have another 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. So you're going to have 3 plus 6 is 9 minimum on turn 2. And then that leaves 2 Goaters you have to roll for, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get them. Because turn 3, you're going to get the Bear Sharks on. You're going to auto-pick one of the other Beast Pack, and then you're going to roll for one of them on turn 3. So you're going to have 12 cards, and then on turn 4, your last guy's going to come on. So, like, having 12 cards on turn 3 is maybe really strong. Maybe. But, like, I don't know. Just having all your stuff come on at a nice, like, a really nice curve of reinforcement rolls, and, like, really controlling that, and just having, like, consistent games to win. Pretty good, some would say. But like, let's check out the units. We got Goater Beast back. How good can they be? Oh, you just know, fucking ridiculous. March 6 Cav with Clash 3, 5 attacks, 5 wounds, defense 3, and resolve 3. This is a pretty good stat line. 5 wounds is D3 R3. Makes it really hard for you to like kill a stand. So they're Not as susceptible to chip damage as maybe some people would like or think they are, because that one additional wound will just keep that one guy going. Goater Beastpack also have the glory of having 5 attacks each. They also have a leader. Pretty sure. There he is, leader. And they're just naturally unstoppable, so you can reroll your charge. So you're getting 16 attacks. Oh, but wait, there's more. The Vogni Lord says you get Flurry because of Feral Hunter. So now all these Goater Beastpack have Flurry. What makes it really, really good too. But wait, we even have more. We got Brutal Impact 1 and 3 impacts. That's pretty good. Oh, and we have Line Breaker. So basically, your Brutal 2 on the impacts, and your Norn Shields on the Clash. I don't know if there's the shield special rule performing Clash of Duels, so it does not affect tramples, because, surprise, the Goater Beastpack have trample as well, because why not? They're so effective for their points. They get so much output. They're just a bit more durable with that 5th wound, what kind of keeps them going. The way to kind of stop these things is to kind of hit them first and like take out a stand, like chip damage to like kill a stand off before they start like charging and clashing you is really good. Something Goater want to do is they want to charge you, they want to clash you, and they want to do damage with their brutals, their clash, and their impacts. And if you're still alive, they'll just clash because they have flurry. Like on 3s, flurries is fine with their like 16 attacks to kill something. And they'll charge in the other thing, do 3 impacts each, and then trample for another like 6 damage, and you know, do a bunch of damage and kind of break something so that's too weak enough to fight back. And that's kind of their go-to, is they want to hit something, do enough damage, clean it off with the clash, charge into the next thing, do a bunch more damage, and kind of keep going like that. So they have this really nice offensive push. They got decent defensive stats. The way to kind of deal with them is you want to like pick a stand off before they hit you. As the Nords player, you don't necessarily want to march charge them unless the target isn't really gonna fight back and kill them, and you're trying to like gum some stuff up, or you think you can kind of kill down a stand and like trade because you're like already up on the peace trade. Nords is a really good faction for peace trading, what I quite like, and they do really well with that. So Goater Beastpack, very, very good. With the combination of the Vogni's Lord called the Hunt, Forward Force, and Feral Hunters, getting them on the table, giving them flurry, just makes them more powerful and more consistent. You kind of want to just charge Clash guys to death, though, if you can. Only march charge when you kind of want to wound something and you don't think they have enough damage after that to hurt you back. So you can kind of push it forward the next turn. Alright, let's go to the next warband. I already talked a little bit about this. We got the Blooded. Also has Forward Force. He's Cleave 2. He's got the Red Bringer. So he's going to get 2 impacts and plus 2 attacks on his Cleave 2, putting up 2 attacks 7. He's Clash 4 base, what's freaking ridiculous. Are Trolls Resolve 3? They are Resolve 3, okay. So Clash 4, Cleave 2 on 7 attacks is a lot of work. He's going to be sitting in a unit of Trolls, so he's going to kind of be the punch in that Troll unit. The Trolls are really good because they kind of just counter range just due to their regen ability, and that once they get stuck in there, they can kind of just clobber people with Cleave 1. Clash 2 isn't the greatest, but for what they're doing on all their other stats of just kind of being a good MSU trainer and taking a while to die and being really effective at that, and if you kind of like trade into them poorly, like if you're looking for a really good dice roll to like kind of wipe them out or do enough damage and don't get it, and then they heal back and then they just kind of clobber you and take out a stand, and then you fight back and kill one of their stands, and then they go regen and then clobber you again and take out a stand, you're kind of like just losing that battle. So you really got to like hit them and break them, what's kind of tough at times, especially because they have Fearsome and Oblivious. Well, not Fearsome, sorry, that's not Fearless. No one cares about Fearsome. It's mostly because they have Oblivious and the Regen 6. Really good. Great into shooting because they're just going to heal, and they like getting into shooting elements and just beating them to death with their clubs. Stalkers, let's talk about these guys. Stalkers. So Stalkers are really great. Stalkers are really great for 3 big reasons. 1, they're great speed bumps and blockers, and they're cheap enough that you can kind of like sack them if you really need to. 2, they do great chip damage, and yeah, they actually do like pretty good chip damage. And the other thing is like 3, like flank and opportunist, so if things get really close to you, you can actually start like upping the damage, especially if you get into that flank, and if you get into effective range, you can use them to like hammer out shots, and they're great for board denial and positioning denial on the table. Like, one of your last activations you want are your stalkers. When you're in that initial part of the game, like the initial part of the game where you're trying to like take up board space and get into the right position, simply because people just don't want to like move up and take free damage, because you're like, okay, cool, you moved up and my stalkers haven't gone, I'm just gonna shoot you to take free damage because you just kind of run up the table, take some chip. That's really it. You'll see me play these guys centrally so they can flex to both sides. We'll talk about the list kind of strategy, because it plays slightly different than a lot of other lists, where you want to do a hard decline flank, where you're like pushing really hard on one side and weaker on the other to then kind of hammer blow across the table. While with Nords, and especially this list, you want to horns the bull, so you want to kind of come up with everything. And if you keep your stalkers in the middle, it's a weak area for your opponent to kind of charge through from. But once your melee elements get into them, their flanks will be exposed to the stalkers in the middle, who will shoot and do additional damage with opportunists, and maybe they'll get into effective range and all that. So that's really good there. Alright, last warband. Shaman, no upgrades. Raider, Captain, Bear Shark, Savage. For people who don't know, Captain allows your Raiders to score. They get +1 stand for the purposes of additional stands for seizing zones. Bear Sharks, Savage, you get a free additional charge. So you can March, Charge, Clash. Charge, Clash, Charge. You can March, Charge. So you can actually like threat project really far with Bear Sharks. 5 attacks each on Clash 3 with Cleave 2, Tenacious 1, and Vanguard 4. Means that they actually have very good output for their damage. They're not the greatest survivability simply because of D2 and 4 wounds, so they will like die very effectively. But they are a great hammer. They do have Tenacious 1 and Vanguard 4, so Vanguard 4 really gets them into position, and the Savage really lets you like slingshot them out, similar to how Thunder Riders work. And they do enough damage to actually rip through things, so people gotta be really careful about Bear Sharks, and they're the big hammer in the list. Like, Gold or Beastpack are great piece traders and will do a lot of work, same with Trolls and the Blooded. But when you need to finish something off, you have the Bear Sharks to do so. Lastly, for Raiders, he's hanging out with the Shaman. Shaman's just kind of running around casting his spells. He has some good ones here, like Blurred Vision. Target engagement can only select targets or charge within 12 inches until end of round. 20-inch range is really good. Hoarfrost, an amazing nuke. 2 mid 4, range 12. 1 hit per success AP1. Used to be way better, but still really solid. What else is Mistreaver? Any good? +1 evasion, no one cares. Dominate. Target engagement suffers -1 resolve. That's not bad. Enrage. Lose Broken, who cares? And Reshape Destiny is everyone within 10 inches of the character stand gains Unstoppable. Everyone already has Unstoppable, so like, I don't know. Raiders are really effective for their point cost and being a light, so Shaman and the Raiders are going to go sit on a zone. The Shaman's just going to cast spells, basically. Let's get into my opponent's list. Here's my opponent's list. Jeff, Gamescom 2025. So Jeff and I are playing a game. He is testing out his Sorcerer Kings to see what he has available, because we need to be painted. He wants to paint up his Sorcerer Kings and play them. He's got a Maharaja on the Favor of Homas, who's riding the Mahut. Jeff didn't send me his list, so I'm just kind of doing this from memory. Currently, he has 45 points of upgrades, and I just don't know what they are. Like, I know he has Juju on the Sorcerer, and he had a Mahut and a guy on top of the Mahut, but after that, I don't remember what his upgrades are. So we're just gonna run through it. So, you know, he's got the Maharaja Warlord, who's riding the Mahut, getting all those ritual markers and trying to get off a ton of rituals. Wizard 7, really good. He's got Flamecaster and the Sword Dancers, and then he has the Rashasha Bakasora. So I believe this is the Character Hunter guy. Arrogance? Yes, he can duel and plus recharge. So, Character Hunter, always kind of good. He has more attacks. He is, I think, 1 less cleave and isn't like, what the heck is it? Fiend Hunter. But he still does a lot of damage, and your opponent always has characters. They don't necessarily only have monsters and brutes. So, Goat or Beastpack are Cav, they are not brutes. So the Monster Hunter one would not work on them. However, the character one, still really good. The Mahut, still really good. It's just a really hard thing to knock off. Defense through Resolve through 20 wounds and Oblivious. And the ability to heal it with Hardened 1 just means it kind of sticks around a long time, and having flank. So both his heavies are going to be coming on. The Mahut has flank, and the Rakasaka Bakasora is just going to show up. With the Sorcerer, who is a Court of Fire with Jadu. She's in a unit of Discipline, so she has a big Archer unit with her. I think she's also range 18. Range 14. Wow, not that great. Maybe she should get that changed because all the spellcasters kind of want to sit in a unit of disciples simply because, you know, you're far back. You don't want to die. Goals, 1 unit of goals, you're casting the score spell on the goals and just having them sit in a zone before you trade them and block off with them. And then another Flamecaster and Sword Dancer unit. And lastly, a Maharaja in Court of Air and also a unit of disciples. That was roughly his list. I don't have much to go over. This is kind of like bread and butter Sorcerer Kings, I want to say. Like, you know, you're grabbing 2 units of Flamecasters, 2 units of Sword Dancers because you need the range punch and the melee punch. You need the archers to keep your wizards safe and in the back. You need something up front there with the goals to also score and also kind of keep your opponent away. And then the Mahut and to like lock down a flank, and the Raksasa to kind of hit hard. That's kind of what it's doing. In this game, Jeff needs to bring his forces to bear to hit me, while because of all the flank and the reinforcement rolls and everything, I had all my forces on the table and ready to go immediately. So let's get into the table and scenario. So here's the table we played on today. We are playing, I believe this is Breakout. Hold on, let me go check my thingamabobber. Okay, so we are playing Bulwark. You get points for controlling the zones, and you get points for killing the objectives. You have to kill your opponent's objective to score their zone, and you get a point for killing the neutral objective and the enemy warlord. So really how you play this is you kind of want to, this is on a red table, so we'll just use red anyway. Take over your zone. You need to also kill the objective marker, and then you need to kind of fight your opponent off their zone. So there's like a turn or two of not scoring, and you'll be up on points, and you kind of take that lead and run with it, and that's kind of how you win. You don't want your opponent to kill your objective. You killing their objective is very much a thing of you've kind of cleared everything out of, I'll do it in this color, this area, and you really have nothing else to do, and you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have a unit kill that objective marker, and then I'm gonna sit on that zone, and then, you know, move out from there. But kind of one of the big things you need to do right away is actually take this neutral objective as soon as possible, as it's points on the table, and that neutral objective at times will flip-flop who's going to win this game or not. Depends on how close a skill each player is. So as for the table itself, we have black building over here, 3 forests. We're in pretty decent spots. And then these fields, maybe I'll do it in orange, I don't know, that are dangerous obscuring. So we got plenty of obscuring, so reducing shooting. And we also have 3 things of hindering, 2 things of dangerous, and the buildings. You can actually get like 2, I think you can get a 2 stand or a monster stand through there. This table is kind of split between, just remove these again, like here and here. That big building kind of splits the table really hard, and there's going to be a fight of how you block out your opponent there and how you deal with your own zone on the left. So let's get into turn 1. Here's turn 1. Due to Nords, all my stuff comes in. So, and due to Sorcerer Kings, only the goals come in. My opponent and I kind of make the choice of, let's run our guys up into our zones. So I have it set up that the command stand is going to touch that zone. And then I also drop both my stalkers in the middle here, because I want to threat project out. And I also want to put like plink shots into this objective marker when it's time. And also, you know, board deny, threat project on my opponent's zone to keep them off that and deal damage to them. While I feel pretty confident I can kind of just like sit in the woods here, I'll do it in like orange, and keep my raiders safe enough, and also bring up enough things that I can kind of like win that fight with like 2 or 3 regiments, while putting a majority of fight onto my opponent's side, just because there's a bigger area to play it. My opponent runs up with his goals to kind of get into that zone, because he's going to bring on his sorcerer to cast the score spell on them so he can score that zone, while I am already getting ready to counter them to hopefully like kill off a stand or 2. Let's get into turn 2. Here's turn 2. A lot of stuff on the table. So Jeff here gets his Maharaja and his disciples, his sorceress and the disciples. I get blooded with trolls, my other unit of trolls. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Golden Beast Pack. This one in orange, we had forward force, and I autoed on the other trolls, like I said, and another unit of Goater, and then I rolled successes on my other 2 mediums. So all my stuff is on the table. I have like 12 cards right now, so I have tons of opportunities, and we're doing really good. With this position, I'm just cleaning up some lines. There we go. I start looking at like how am I going to do these fights, because I'm really going to dictate the pace of the game and where everything's going. I'm already looking at killing my opponent's objective marker, just simply because I have such weighted numbers. I'll do it in red. There we go. My opponent will score the zone this turn, while I kind of have things come on. So like I'm getting ready with these Goater to like come in from the side here, and also like kind of protect that flank. Both Stalkers are in the way, but I have Goater right behind who are gonna jump the Stalkers when the time arises. The Stalkers, the left unit puts some shots in the ejector marker. The right unit I think does some shots into the goals, but doesn't kill a stand. On the left side, I deem one MSU of Trolls and an MSU of Goater is good enough to kind of hold off that side, and donate enough there to kind of score my zone and hold it off and all that stuff. I don't move up with the Raiders. I think they were one of my earlier cards, and maybe I probably should have had them lower on the stack, but actually I believe the big reason why I didn't move them up so far is, I'll do it in purple, I could not find a spot with my movement to get the Raiders in the trees, but also on the zone to score it. If I was going to move up into range, I really wanted the Raiders to be safe in the trees, but there's no way my movement would allow that. I did the proxy to see if I could, and I can. I just don't have the movement to get there. So what I did instead is I put my Shaman 20 inches away from the archers, so I can cast Blurred Visions on them and then run the Raiders into the trees later, forcing my opponent to come forward if he wants to shoot me or not. What will then bring the lines closer for my Trolls and Goater Beast pack on the left side, while the right side is just going to be a massive force concentrate, and we're going to see if I can blow up that objective and then kind of push through in black there. Alright, let's go to turn 3. Alright, so here is turn 3. My opponent gets his Muhut and his Bakasura. He also gets his other mediums, so he's got the Flame Casters, Sword Dancers. He is missing one Sword Dancer unit. I get my Bear Sharks. There's one Bear Shark stand and 2 Huskar stands there, because I haven't built them all at this point. Also, if you haven't noticed, I'll just do it in like pink. There's like Fenrir Beast Pack in here because I'm waiting on another box of Goater. And by recording, I already have the box of Goater and built them. So you'll no longer see any Fenrir Beast Pack. Things that go on. So Jeff decides to kind of march charge the goals into my Stalkers. They eat Aura of Death. Stalkers, just shoot and clash, but only, like, a stand lives. I'm kind of like, oh, that really sucks. The Goater jumped the Stalkers and hit the objective, killing it, also getting them up the table and protecting the Stalkers from the Mahut, who will be coming later in, and also being able to project outward if I need them to do so. The goals, though, kind of jamming up. I'll just do it in like orange or burgundy, whatever. These Goater, who are just kind of hanging out behind. However, I'm not too worried. Trolls kind of run up onto the zone. Don't really threat project. Archers kind of shoot at Trolls. Trolls lose a stand, but I'm also not worried. Give space for the Bear Sharks, who are looking to... I'll do it also... I'll just do it in red. Screw it. Or how about this yellow color? This yellow color. They're kind of looking at that guy right there because the Bear Sharks were one of my last cards. And I know Jeff has been building ritual markers and I think can triple activate and come and get me. So it's kind of set up right now that they will protect the flank of the Hogs. The Hogs needed like a 5 to get into the ejector marker and failed, and so I just like moved 2 inches up, and I was just like, well, I'll just take it because there's no reason not to just blow up an ejector marker, and then I can just kind of like run through with everything. And the Hogs have the ability to just one round an ejector marker, which is really good. So there's that. On the left side, Jeff kind of brings some stuff up. Doing this burgundy color, like the Shaman cast Blurred Visions, and then at some point the Raider block runs into the woods, also touching the corner of the zone. I do bring up my Trolls, who don't have the movement to jump over the ejector marker, to kind of keep pushing. Because if the Trolls end up here, do it in orange, it might pull threat away from the Mahut to go charge the trolls, but then we'll leave it open for the Goater. So I want to put like those priest trades up and make Jeff forced to take choices, so he kind of can't really commit to one side and like fight the fight he wants. Because once again, Nords is really good at the peace trade aspect of this game. And I quite like that, because you'd be like, oh, here you go. I'm just going to kill this thing. Oh, you're going to kill me. That's fine. I'm just going to peace trade up. And I kind of like that. Reminds me of Raygoons. Lastly, on the left there, Beast Pack just kind of run up and just like look to get a march charge into these guys later on. They're there to like threaten if those flame casters want to go for the raiders or anything, but they're there just kind of flank around. So right now, a lot of my opponent's force concentration is clean up some lines way back here. Well, it's not that great because I am do it in this brown way over here. So I'm kind of taking over more of the table. He's not scoring anything. I am scoring, and I'm in a commanding position to start the trades. And I'm really like, that's where I want to be. I do have to be worried though of how he tries to counter this, because if I make a bad play, I could lose stuff for free, and I really don't want that. So let's go to turn 4. Here's turn 4. So couple things happen here. One of the big ones is that Jeff does a ritual, and he has his Bakasura go in, hit the Goater with a March Charge Clash, and kill my Goater. I'm like, no, my Goater! They didn't even get to do anything. They're dead. Put a black line through those guys. Poor hogs. My Bear Sharks are one of my last cards, so at some point I just charge in the flank with the Bear Sharks and do a bunch of damage to the Bakasura in the flank, and it dies. So that's what's going on over on the right side. I think that was one of my last activations with the Bear Sharks. In the middle, you'll notice, I'll do it in purple, the Mahut charges in, Maharaja does a bunch of damage, and one of the Goater lives on like 1 health and 1 stand, and I'm like, oh, it's not the end of the world. I was actually thinking of like, oh, Goater will clash the Mahut, and then like withdraw and either die or get the fuck out of there. But then the Maharaja goes and just fucking blasts it and kills it, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. That means these Goater, or one of my last cards, need to, oh, I don't know, somehow get over there, because my current issue is that I have a unit of goals right here. So these stalkers go kind of early and just clash and kill the goals off, and I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll just take the Aura of Death, it doesn't matter. What allows me to get these Goater into the Mahut, and then I just do a bunch of damage, you know, impacts, clashes, tramples, leave it on 1 health, and then I have my stalkers, what is one of my lower end cards here, just shoot it to death. So Jeff's big anchor and hammer are both dead. I had to trade 2 units of Goater for that. What is a good trade? The best trade deal ever. The out of the peace trade. So that's really going good there. The trolls, on the other hand, they regen, and I just kind of march onto the other side of the objective because I didn't want to get bogged down behind it. But my opponent needs like a 6 to get in, and he doesn't have a reroll of the sword dancers, so I'm kind of feeling kind of fine. The archers once again just, you know, shoot at them, and I lose another stand. I'm like, all right, well, we'll just keep up this game. Fine with me. These guys, I think, also trying to shoot at them. I'm just like, all right, regen, get to work. And lastly, the sword dancers, they march charge over and get into melee with me. I'm really okay with that, simply because, you know, in the future I got this beast pack unit that can hit them to the side, freeze up the trolls can push in, Bear Sharks can reform, and, you know, go that way as well. I got 2 units of shooting. Like, there's a lot of pieces there, so if I start going 1-in-1 with Jeff at this point, I'm gonna win the right side, and I'm very happy about that. On the left side, however, I do a march charge with my trolls, get into the archers to shut them down. The archers, the flame casters shoot them, the archers stab them, get down to a stand, they're broken. I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. Shaman, cast spell, fails. Or like, I don't really do anything. It was one of the two. Like, our wizards are too close to each other. Go to beast back. Over on the left here, charge in, do impact tramples, take the flame caster down a stand. My opponent moved up his sword dancers, his last unit, right behind the flame casters, but he has no way to get the sword dancers in there because he's lined up basically right beside the Flamecaster's like he's lipped over a bit, so he has no way to like properly charge in and need to be over a little bit more or generate that room. So I'm fine having my Beast Pack kind of like sticking those Sword Dancers in the back with that one stand of Flamecasters, and have the ability of the Trolls and the Shaman to try and kill off the Archers. And then I'll win that side, and even if that peace trade goes wrong, I should be able to run the right side and then bring everything over to the left. So we're doing well, and also I'm scoring. Ding. Let's get into the next turn. I believe it's turn 5. The photo got corrupted, but we'll just talk about it over turn 6, and we'll see how it goes. Here's turn 6. So we had turn 5. Turn 5, I'll just kind of go over this really quick. The Flamecasters move up. They shoot my Goater, and then my Goater charge in, kills them. Archers shoot Goater, kill Goater. Trolls, if you remember, over here, kill Sword Dancers. They're dead. So, dead, dead, dead. Next, over on the left side, Archers. We'll just do this a little better. Archers. I believe they kill off my Trolls. Dead. Raiders charge in, kill off the Archers. Over here, Flamecaster, Beast Pack. Beast Pack uses the Clash Flurry to kill off the one Flamecaster, and then charge into the Sword Dancers, killing off a stand, and then they kind of get into a fight. So that's turn 5. Bear Sharks reform and just kind of like, you know, point that way. Stalkers move up and like shoot the ejector marker, you know, put some damage on, stuff like that. We'll do it in black. It doesn't do in orange. Shoot the ejector marker, working that way. And I think with these Stalkers here, they just start making their way over there. So let's get into turn 6. There is no going to be transitions, literally just be undoing all these lines for turn 5 and talking about turn 6. So both the Flamecasters and the Goater are dead in the middle there. The Trolls just charge into the Archers and just wipe them out. The Shaman and his Raider team, after wiping out the other unit of Archers, the other Warlord, just kind of reform and march into the zone. The Goater and the Sword Dancers fight. The Sword Dancers win and have one guy left. Good job on him. I bring more Stalkers around. Bear Sharks charge into the ejector marker and kill it. And the other Stalkers, I think, just kind of sit there, to be honest. They're not really doing much. So I'm scoring both zones, and my opponent has one thing left. So let's go to turn 7 or 8. Probably 7. Here's the last turn. No, I think this is 7, because I remember what happened here. So I was having my like Raiders and Shaman go first, and the Shaman was trying to like cast spells at this one guy to like kill him. But then like Jeff got the initiative and just like ran away more. So he was just out of range. I'm like, damn it. And so you can see me over here bringing up the Stalkers. Everything else on the right side of the table, we just stop activating because we're like, that's locked down, doesn't matter. He's got one guy left, and at this point, I'm just kind of chasing him around the table to like kill him. But he gets out of the way. I use my Shaman. I'm like, oh, that's really sucky. I move my Raiders in position. I move my Stalkers up to hopefully like chase them down more and put him in between a pinch right now, because that Sword Dancer is only going to be able to hit one unit, and it's probably not going to do enough damage to kill anybody. But still, I'm just going to try and get rid of him so I can just be like done with the game. So let's go to turn 8. Turn 8. I'm pretty sure I just killed this guy. That's it. Like, won the roll off. Shaman cast spell. He's dead. That's it. And that's the game. Woo! Perfect. All right, let's go to the score. Yay, the score. 46 to 47. Sorry, my apologies. 47 to 6. Overall, good game. I think one of the issues Jeff had was that he kind of spread himself maybe too thin and wasn't able to bring his forces to bear. He donated a unit of Gauls early. He should have just like used them to score and then like kept them back to like zone me out. And he really needed his Sword Dancers and Flamecasters to be on the table to start pushing me back. Because he didn't have them on the table earlier, or didn't like concentrate his force. He kind of sent things in piecemeal, even though they were like, and they were strong pieces, but he still sent them in piecemeal. He just couldn't like hit me all at the same time, and I just kind of chewed him up piecemeal. So what I'm kind of doing a roundabout way of saying is like, get all your stuff together, and then hit someone in the face with it. In that game, like, turn 4, Jeff donated both the Mahut and the Bakasura, but all his other stuff is, like, in the back row, and, like, yes, he killed 2 Goater, and, like, yes, all my Goater were dead by the end of the game, but everything else was still around doing work. There's no, like, every piece in the list does work, what I quite enjoy. There's no chuds. Like, the only one who you can call a chud is the Raiders, but even then they have a shaman to still contribute to the fight itself, what I quite enjoy. So yeah, like, even though you can threat project really far, you still need things to cover your flanks, and not just go into the ball's nest of what your opponent's list is of like 3 to 4 regiments and just expect to win that with 1 regiment. I know he was like, well, you're just coming for me. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm coming for you, but you can like set up to do a peace trade where like you're gonna get hit back, do it in a way what pulls me out of, like, make me overextend kind of thing. Like, that's what you're looking for. And as you saw in that list of how I played it, I played like Horns of the Bull, Stalkers in the middle providing shooting support. A lot of the melee threat was on the flanks and then collapsed in, and kind of just ate up my opponent's flank and made their way to the center. And as he pulled things closer to the center, I countered hit with stuff and pushed out from there. So overall, a really good game. I quite enjoy this list I'm dubbing Hog Mania. Carl will, I know he will be like, we gotta play a game, so you have to say the right name of the list. And I'm like, man, so dude, I'm the content creator. I get to name the lists. We'll do that game, and I'll say, did you MSU me? But man, that does not roll off the tongue very well. I will admit to that. And this is me putting my foot down, ready to get the paddling from Carl, because I know he's gonna do it. If you enjoyed this, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Join us in the BonkTable Discord, the link in the description below. Listen to the BonkTable podcast, where we talk about Conquest and all that stuff. You can find that on YouTube, you can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. Cassandra, my wonderful, lovely co-host, has a Twitter, so you can also go find out what the heck she's talking about. I believe that's also in the description below. And I hope everyone has a great day. Bye!